And we're here with Coach Lauren Dawson after a bye week. Coach, do you think that this bye week comes at a good stage of the season, or what are some of the pluses and minuses to having a bye week in the middle of the year?
I think it comes at a real good time. We've had bye weeks really early. We've had bye weeks really late. I think, and we work hard to try to schedule it so we can get it somewhat in the middle, which we've had the last 2 years. It's a good point. Chance for some guys to get some rest, some guys healed, and obviously a chance for us to spend a week just working on fixing things and not having to prepare for an opponent. So it came at a great time in terms of where it fell on the calendar. It's tough coming off a loss. It's the first time in a couple of years that our byes come after a loss. It's a lot more fun when it comes after a win, but it probably brought more focus and more urgency to what we needed to accomplish last week coming after that loss.
Now, looking back to that game against Southwestern, the offense had some success with some big explosive plays, but had a little more trouble keeping sustained drives alive. Obviously, some of that was turnovers, but what are some of the things you do to kind of get the momentum going on offense a little more?
Sure. And just overall, that game, give credit to Southwestern. They played a very good game. They deserved to win. We didn't win. We had some critical errors in our kicking game that cost us. And then we had 4 turnovers, 3 of which were inside our own 20, which you can't do. You can't do that and expect to win a game, to deserve to win a game. And you're right, our offense, we had some big plays, which by nature, by what they do on defense, it's kind of that we knew going in that was going to be part of the deal. They like to overload the box and force you and play man coverage, so you're going to have some big plays. They make it tough on you to run the ball because they have so many people in the box. But to beat them, you have to sustain drives, as you said, and we didn't do that. And that's one of the big reasons we didn't win the game. In addition to the special teams problems and the turnovers, we weren't able to run the ball like we need to run the ball to win.
Now, looking ahead to this week, you've got Trinity. They going back to last season, they started out slow last year, but really kind of gained momentum, and they've carried that over. They're 4-1. What do you see from them?
A very good football team. Very good football team. They're 4-1. Their one loss to Hardin-Simmons, which Hardin-Simmons is, if they're not a top 10 team in the country, they will be soon. So that one loss by no means is a blemish. Very, very good defense. Very, very good running back. Sound team like they always have. Whether it's Coach Moore or Coach Urban, they've always done a great job of making sure they don't beat themselves and giving you a lot to work against. And they're continuing to do that, and that's where we are this week.
Now, we're getting into the kind of the schedule quirk being in the Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference, where you play a couple teams twice. Last week it was Southwestern, and now Trinity's coming up. You'll get both of them later in the year.
Right.
These first 2 games against each of these don't count towards the SCAC standings. Obviously, you want to win every game, but does that change the approach at all, or how's the team approach that?
It doesn't. They all count. They all matter. We really approach this thing 1 week at a time, whether we're playing a Whittier or whether we're playing San Antonio. It doesn't matter who or where or when. But it does impact how you prepare for the second game. The first game is like any other game, but then there are some idiosyncrasies when you're playing somebody the second time in a year in terms of game plan and prep. And we've had that for the last 3 years now. We played Southwestern twice the last 2 years. 2 years ago, 13. We played Trinity twice. So we've been through it before, and it does change your game planning and prepping a little bit the second time you play somebody, but the first time it's like playing anybody else.
Well, thank you, Coach Dawson, and good luck this weekend down in San Antonio.
Thank you, Jeff.